We're ready? All right, go ahead.
So Larry, how did your talks go with Keith Frazier? Obviously, he's transferred.
I don't, he told me he wanted a fresh start. And since day one, since he got here, I told him that we'd always be here to support him. And since this process is going on, and I've maintained the same kind of attitude with him. He's always going to be part of our family, and whatever is best for him is best for us. So we're going to focus on helping him when he needs it, and then concentrate on the kids we have here and how we can continue to try to get better.
Along those lines, you said a week or two ago that you reached out to the football office to see if you could borrow some athletes. And there were 3 football players walking around in the hallway there just a few minutes ago. Anything you want to announce with us?
No, I got to talk to Chad a little bit. I did reach out to him before, and to be honest with you, I'm really in favor of recruiting dual athletes here, and I think we have a great relationship. And if a kid wants to play both sports and Chad's okay with it, I'm fine with it. I hope that when it happens, they don't come here till January. That would be a neat thing. But I've seen it happen before. The year we won the national championship, I had 2 football players on our team in Kansas, and they both made an unbelievable contribution. So if it's okay with Chad, we'd welcome that. When my first year with June, we had a football player on our team, and he was a really positive influence.
Did Coach Morris sound receptive to the idea, just to the initial conversations?
Yeah, we have a great relationship. But again, it's, they're going to talk to Coach. I think he's out recruiting, and whatever Chad thinks is, I'm okay with, but I'd welcome, to be honest with you, I'd welcome any kid from his program to be part of ours.
So the guys who are in the hallway won't be practicing with you today?
No. I don't know how much we'll do today anyway, to be honest with you, but that whole thing is, I just want the football people to be comfortable with them, and then I think understanding the relationship we have here in this community, we're all trying to help each other.
Larry, you've been really close to Keith, obviously, such a big sign. I'm just wondering personally how you take the news of him wanting to leave.
I'm always going to be close to him. At the end of the day, he's got to do what's best for him and this. So I'm going to support whatever decision he makes, and I'm never going to stop supporting him. I hope that's the way we are with all our kids. It's never an easy thing for anybody, but we're moving on. We got a bunch of kids in that room that I think we got to focus our attention to, and hopefully this turns out great for Keith.
Larry, big picture, why has this team enjoyed the level of success that it has so far this year?
Probably great coaching. No, we got high character kids. I'm amazed every day that I go to practice, and every game that I've been fortunate enough to be on the bench to see the things that they've overcome. This is not just this year. If you go back and think of all the obstacles they've faced, all the disappointments they've had, and how they've responded, it's incredible. And I think it's because of my staff, Tim in particular. I think about this community and how they've embraced the kids and supported them. There's been a lot of things, but again, it's when you walk in that dressing room every day and you go to practice every day, and see the sacrifices they made, you realize, I think I'm blessed to have an extraordinary group to coach.
What have you used to motivate them when the traditional carrots aren't there?
I don't. I'm kind of the devil, so I don't know what about motivation.
It's okay, Coach. It'll pick up.
I just we try to coach them every day to try to make them better, but it doesn't come from my motivating them or Tim or any of our staff. I think it's the leadership we have in our locker room, and it's the culture that Nick Russell and Sean Williams, and then we go to Ryan Manuel and Cannon Cunningham and Yannick. I think all those kids have had something to change the culture around here. And now we have 3 great seniors that are continuing that. And, I'm real confident we get through this year, we're going to be at Bear for a long time. And it's all because of the contribution those kids made and the guys Matt left me with. I think that's really been something that I don't think a lot of people have focused enough on. He left me with some unbelievable high character kids.
Do you feel like you've had to alter your message at all to keep guys invested for this year?
I don't think I'm smart enough to do that, to be honest with you. I hadn't changed in 50 years or whatever it is. You got to care about your kids. You got to teach them to play hard, play unselfishly, care about one another, and that's the way I was taught. But I think they got that message before they got with me.
One of the guys who's stepped up a lot this year is Ben Moore. He's scoring about double his average of the first 2 years. His rebounds are up. He leads you in blocks. What are the biggest changes or improvements, or what do you credit his improvement to?
Ben Moore. No, I think he's just starting to believe in himself. The ability's always been there. I think he's probably cared too much and put too much pressure on himself. Now he seems like he's much more relaxed and confident. He's just been amazing. I think Carlos has helped a lot. Ricky Dudley was great, and the kids had a lot of confidence in him. And then now you get an NBA strength and conditioning coach who's played the sport, who's been around the best players in the world. I think it's had a positive effect on all our kids.
When he was a freshman, you compared him to Derek McKee. Is that still an accurate comparison in your mind?
Well, Derek's one of the greatest players I ever coached that nobody knows about. His impact on our team was never measured by the stat sheet. I think Ben, in a lot of ways, does that. If he ever turns out like Derek, he'll have one coach that'll be extremely proud.
When you talk about the leadership on this team, where does that show up on the day-to-day most evidently for you?
Well, it shows up based on the hand that these kids have been dealt. From day one, having that big party and us not getting in the NCAA when everybody knew we were deserving of that. Being a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament after you win your conference and win your conference tournament in a league that I think gets no respect. Going through the disappointment of a tough loss against UCLA, and then experience what we have with the NCAA situation when the seniors weren't allowed to transfer because it happened so late. And nothing's fazed them. They've all moved on. With everything that's been difficult, they've tried to do better. And I think it's a credit to every kid in that locker room.
How would you describe how the season sort of feels for you? Is it any different?
How's it feel for me?
Yeah, is it any different than the minutes you've been a part of?
Well, every season that I'm allowed to do this is a blessing. I love it, you know. But I'm in awe of these kids, to be honest with you. Every day they do something that makes me just feel lucky to be part of. And it's not going to get any easier, you know. But nobody's going to take away from what they've accomplished so far. So I'm just really thrilled to be part of it. And then last thing, I'm so proud of Tim, you know, because all of a sudden he finds out he's got to coach 9 games, and there are a lot of expectations with this team, and I think he handled it about as well as anybody could possibly handle it.
We'll talk about your opponent tomorrow night.
Thank you.
I know you mentioned you wanted to
It's
get
not
to it right
tomorrow
now.
night. Tomorrow night I'm
Excuse me.
going to Detroit. They're retiring Ben Wallace's jersey, and I'm going to be like a proud parent just to be part of it. But we play Tulane at Tulane. Road games in any conference are never easy. Their coach is probably one of the most underrated coaches that I've come across since I've been doing this. So it's not going to be easy, especially, you know, when you consider with Keith leaving, we're down to 7. And it's always tough, you know, even if you have a bunch of kids. So we have to play perfect like we always do, and have to figure out a way.
Anything else?
When was the